This one is for the gamers out there who can easily spend hours playing their favorite video games. The video game industry has really come a long way. Welcome to Trending Tickets, and today we're going to give you the rundown on the top 10 video games with unique AI. Nowadays, having excellent AI is an important aspect of a modern video game. Believe it or not, it can make or break the game. From rendering scenes seamlessly and having lifeline characters, AI can really elevate the game from average to excellent. Number 10. Minecraft. We start off this list with none other than Minecraft. Developed by Marcus Persson and later on Mojang, this sandbox game is unconventional. There are no missions to complete and no objectives to follow. In fact, players are pretty much free to do as they please using 3D blocks of different materials and texture. As a result, Minecraft never ends, and its AI makes it even better because it adapts to the player's creations and indefinitely changes according to what the player is building. And if players ever feel the need for something different, there are various modes that they can choose from, including Adventure, Spectator, and others. Minecraft's popularity has gone beyond the gaming community, and it is in fact even used today to teach code and train AI to perform various actions, such as digging up a diamond. So far, Minecraft has been used by AI from the likes of Microsoft, where researchers want to teach AI to learn goals through reinforcement learning algorithms, proving just how far Minecraft has gone beyond the gaming community. But while Minecraft is pretty impressive, watch until our number 1 pick because that one is even more amazing. Number 9. Far Cry 5. The Far Cry franchise often features on the lists of the best open-world first-person shooter games. And rightly so, with every game that comes out of the series, everything gets better and harder even for the veteran gamers. In fact, at some point, one Far Cry installment was considered unforgiving because it was very challenging, so much so that even the most experienced of gamers found it sadistic. And this is all thanks to the brutal enemy AI, and in every Far Cry game, no NPC is an ally. Full of enemies and angry animals, plus some psychedelics to add to the craziness, the AI's behavior was unpredictable at best. It had no real system, no real script to it. In other words, the AI in Far Cry 5 was very chaotic, and the result was that there was no one way to play the game. Players can choose to plan their way around the environment or shoot blindly. Anything goes in this game, because the AI is so unique that it can lead to immersion-breaking actions that have never been seen before. While Far Cry developer Ubisoft is gearing more towards casual gamers, that doesn't make Far Cry 5 any less immersive, giving it the number 9 spot on this list. Number 8. Halo 5 Guardians. Halo 5 Guardians starts with an explosive opening moment where a team fights its way down a scenic snowy landscape, firing and blasting at hordes of alien enemies. It certainly builds up the excitement for the rest of the game. Halo is great for co-op missions if friends want to play together, but it could also be played solo. The first-person shooter game has an AI that's received mixed reviews, but all in all, the graphically impressive environments enhance the AI's unpredictable movements, especially when the player has AI companions on the team and needs the ability to issue commands so that the mission can be completed successfully. Although some players report negative experiences with the AI, that doesn't seem to take away from the Halo experience, as some teams have been known to play more than 150 hours. Number 7. Creativerse. At first glance, Creativerse looks like a Minecraft copycat, and while some things are similar between the two games, Creativerse manages to make it on its own due to a unique set of construction tools and a smart sharing system for the players. Developed by Playful Corp, Creativerse is a sandbox free-to-play survival game where players have the ability to create a world out of literally nothing. With different biomes and resources to explore, the players can collect, dig, and plunder buildings, and may even encounter hostile creatures. Creativerse is free to play on Steam and is fun to play with friends because of its seamless multiplayer system, but it is also possible to be a solo adventurer. Creativerse is one cool game where players can exercise their creative juices, but our number 1 pick is even better, so keep watching for that. Number 6. ARMA 3. ARMA 3 is a military tactical shooter PC game developed by Bohemia Interactive. Unlike other games in the same genre, ARMA 3 aims to provide players with a sense of realism, so this isn't exactly for those who simply want to execute cool moves and kill anything on sight. ARMA 3 goes beyond that because of its amazing AI, which some players consider to be highly intelligent and adept at making great decisions. This is despite the fact that the ARMA environment is very vast and unstructured. Only an AI that is capable of creative problem solving can make the game flow seamlessly. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, the AI is fully customizable, and many mods are available to make the game experience even better. Number 5. Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty. Newcomers to the Starcraft games will love the AI in Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty. With initial tutorials and stages, newbies can determine which unit is most useful for what. Since the AI follows the same sequence every time, this edition of Starcraft is great for players who like to build a solid strategy before unleashing the final attack. Additionally, the graphics in the game are quite impressive and customization is allowed, so players can get creative with their gaming experience. Longtime players of StarCraft may not be too impressed with the AI, as it can get repetitive even on the hard and elite modes, but nonetheless, this game can still come off as great. Number 4. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. We're now down to the last 4 games on this list. At number 4 is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. Splinter Cell is an action-adventure game that focuses on stealth and strategy. The player assumes the role of Sam Fisher, who is an agent for an intelligence agency. While it may seem like a typical third-person shooter, the player actually has to plan Fisher's moves in order to advance in the game. Adding to the challenge is the AI that controls the guards. It learns from the player's moves and adjusts accordingly, making it hard for the player to counteract its moves because of this factor of unpredictability. In addition to reacting to visual cues, the AI also detects even the slightest of sounds. Because of this, the Splinter Cell AI has been one of the most talked about systems in video game communities. Number 3. The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most anticipated zombie titles out there right now in the video game industry. Set 5 years after the events in The Last of Us, the player now assumes the controls of Ellie, who is now a 19-year-old woman. What sets The Last of Us Part 2 apart from other titles is that the game AI is developed so that each character has 2 sets of behavioral traits, one that is offensive and the other is defensive. These facets of the AI respond to the player's choices and actions depending on the situation and the character involved. Unlike other games, however, no matter what the player chooses to do, there will always be a single ending. Other than that, the sequel to The Last of Us offers pretty realistic graphics and behavior in terms of the characters and the enemies, including the zombies, which makes the experience even better. Number 2. F.E.A.R 3. At number 2 we have F.E.A.R 3, which is the abbreviation for First Encounter Assault Recon. F.E.A.R 3 is a first-person shooter game that was created by Monolith Productions. This one is an older title compared to the other games on this list, as it was released nearly a decade ago in 2011. Nevertheless, when it first came out, it garnered a lot of attention from the video game community because of its in-game AI, which is actually comparable to today's game. Impressive! The opponent AI is extremely intelligent and able to react even to minuscule details. Additionally, the AIs in this game are capable of communication. The enemies talk to each other and come up with a strategy that is a direct response to the player's actions. As such, every experience is different as the enemies will never act the same way, prompting players to constantly change positions to avoid defeat. Number 1. Alien Isolation. Topping our list is none other than Alien Isolation. This one is definitely for fans of the Alien films, a survival horror game that focuses more on stealth and horror compared to other games based on the Alien films. The gamer plays as Amanda Ripley, who is the daughter of Ellen Ripley, the protagonist in the films. Amanda is an engineer on a space station when the station is invaded by an alien. To survive at all costs, the player must use a combination of stealth and puzzle solving to hide from the alien while crafting weapons to fight it. Alien Isolation is an AI-driven game where the enemy is an intelligent alien that can become near invincible because of non-traditional AI techniques. Developers dub the experience as psychopathic serendipity, which means that the alien will always find itself in the right place at the right time. It is controlled by 2 AI systems: the Director system, which observes the player and always knows their location, and the Alien AI, which is a series of sensors and behaviors that give the alien the ability to figure out the player's whereabouts. Thus, even though the alien might not know where a player is hiding or what their next steps are, it will find a way to keep the player alert, since the Director AI guides the alien to the player. Which video game AI fascinates you the most? Comment down below and let us know. If you want to see more videos like this, you'll enjoy our video on the most popular villagers in Animal Crossing. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get notified whenever we come out with new content.